What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Factory Red Garage. Little update on the Nova today. We're back on this today. So we have got the paint all done on it, just on the shell itself. We still got a lot of work to do on it, but got a bunch of the sound deadening done in it, and it's getting there. So what I want to do today is I want to get the windshield installed. So it's the windshield's been out for, I don't know, I think seems like almost like 2 years, and I don't know why it seems like such a milestone just to get the windshield back in, but it does. It just seems like such an empty space to get the windshield back in, but that's what it feels like. So as you can see right here, I have some new clips put in. I already installed them, but let me show you what they are. So I had to do a couple things to my windshield. I had to do a couple things. So you can buy these clips. I bought them, off Amazon, and I can leave a link to these in the description. But these are actually really nice quality. I was actually surprised with them. But and then I had to buy a package of these little screws right here, because when I did my
stuck to the dash.
When I did a bunch of my metal work on here, I had to replace this whole section of the A-pillar here because it was all rotted here. And I have a parts car out back, so I actually cut this whole part out right here. And this one right here, if you want to come over here, so if you look in here, you'll see a stud here, and then you'll see a screw right here. So that's what these are. So I put the screw right back into the same hole, because when I replaced this whole section right here, it was like almost right in the same spot, so that stud ended up coming out. So I bought those. And these are pretty common for these pins to break off or get cut off, whatever the case is. And so that's all they are right here. You just screw them in. So I did that, and all these do is you'll just, if you want to come over here, you'll see, so all these do is they slide in here just like this, and you can see the stud right there. It's a newer stud, and you just put these in here like this. You're just going to push it up just like that, and you'll see a seat in there, and that's all these do. So I wanted to make sure, you want to make sure these are in before you do your windshield, because you might have enough room, you might not, but it's going to be good insurance to make sure that they're in, because it's not going to hinder us putting in the windshield. So it's going to be better to have them in. So so I'm going to be going with, there's a couple different ways to do the windshields on, well, I guess I'd say on the older cars, but the newer cars pretty much all use the urethane, which is going to be like a caulk, but it's a urethane in a caulk tube. I'm going with the butyl rope, and I guess a couple different reasons. And one of the reasons is that's what my car came with from the factory. And number two, it's going to set my depth up from the windshield for my chrome, my trim to go around the windshield. With the urethane, if it sits down too far, the trim will still work, but you might have a gap around your windshield. And I'll kind of show you that once we get the windshield in. But this kit that I bought this from Summit. It's a 3/8, which is going to be what's factory for my car. And to be honest with you, the 3/8 is going to be factory for probably, I don't know, probably all your 70s and 80s cars. I don't know of anything that's really a lot different. They're going to be pretty much all the same. So, and then this kit right here came with also the two little standoffs, I guess I'd call them. And these are what's going to go on the windshield, or on these little brackets right here. They'll set right here, and then the windshield will set on them like this, and we'll show you that once we get it in. So a couple more things too. When you're doing the windshields like this, you might hear a lot of people say that you shouldn't paint or put any kind of coatings around the edge of the window where your window is going to seal to. And the reason they say that is because if you don't do a very good job of making sure that your coatings, so like your primers and your base coat and your clear coat and everything, if they wanted to delaminate at all, basically what could happen is your windshield it'll just rip off. And the reason it would is because it would just delaminate the paint or clear coat or whatever from the body. So just something to be aware of. Some people don't care. Some people take it to an extreme and they won't put anything on it. So mine's been all epoxy coated underneath. Everything was stripped to bare metal and then epoxy coating. And then I did my base coat, my clear coat over top of that. I'm just going to go with it because I don't think it's a big deal. I think people look too far into it. If my windshield flies out, then I will let you guys know and tell you that I fucked up. So it is what it is. This isn't the first windshield I put in with butyl, and I'll tell you what, these cars come with paint on them from the factory, so I'm not worried about it. So I painted this car. I painted the shell of this, I think going on 3 days now. And so this is good and cured. You know, for the most part, I don't have any problems with that. So what we'll do is get started on getting the windshield put in. So my windshield's been stored, like I said, for the last couple of years. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this on wrap. I'm going to get the windshield completely cleaned up, and then we'll start our prep work on the framework, and we'll start installing it. So stick around. So when we put the butyl on, what you want to do is you're going to want to start, for the most part, somewhere down in the bottom. I like to start in the middle, and then what we're going to do is we're going to start here, work our way around, and all the way up and around like that. The reason is you don't want, we're going to do this in one continuous motion. So you don't want any breaks in it anywhere. You don't want anywhere that rain is going to get in here or water and then come down on the inside of your windshield. So it's one continuous motion all the way around. The other thing is when you're putting it down on there, you want to put it down on there where you can feel it stick, but it is a pliable material. So if you push it hard, it's going to squish out to very thin. You just want to just kind of feel it. You'll feel it kind of tack on there. So I'm going to start over here in the middle and work my way this way. The other thing is too is you're going to kind of be able, unless you have a chrome trim or something that comes up on your windshield, you're going to be able to see this butyl all the way around your windshield. So if you're putting this butyl on and you're putting it on or it's doing this all the way around, you're going to see that. So try to take a little bit of care. I know when I had my windshield on there that I'm going to probably follow just a little bit under this guide right here, or this body line, edge, whatever the dash. You see where it comes down, it's all flat right here. I'm going to stay about 3/8 of an inch down all the way over. And then since we put our clips on, you're going to notice when we come over, we're going to stay basically right in between these clips and the edge of the windshield all the way around. So now in my car, I'm going to put a little bit of extra butyl down here because my body lines are a little bit off and higher and stuff like that here. So I'm just going to add a little bit down here. But if your car is perfectly smooth the way it works around, you ain't got to worry about that, in my opinion. So. Now I'm peeling the tape off because when you get around these corners, it's not going to bend very well with the tape on there. So get a good look right here. Okay, and that's all we're doing right there, just like that.
Teamwork.
All right, when we get here to the middle right here, we're just going to cut it off and we're going to bind them together, or bound them, connect them. I don't know.
Make them fit.
Make them come together. See, it's sticky. See how sticky this stuff is? Yeah, it's like that. And I'm only doing this, like I said, on my car because my car, the way the factory put it together, there's big, like where the dash is molded in and then where this side piece is, it's got a big gap in there. So that's the only reason I'm building that up. But once you build it up a little bit, it'll push down in there. You can see how I put it up in there. Its stuff is really sticky. So we're just going to lay it up in there like that. And now it's ready to throw the windshield in. All right, so that went okay.
Could have went smoother.
I mean, good help's hard to find, but we did okay. So
Done.
you can see this is kind of how our lines ended up. So that's why that's kind of crucial, kind of just get your left and right. So actually when we put it on, we were a little bit more toward the driver's side. The wife was having a little bit of issue, but it's all right.
It was heavy.
It worked out. So if you look, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can see how it's like a darker black right there. And that means that you can actually push on the windshield and you can see the butyl move. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not, but the butyl is stuck all the way around. So as this heats up more, it's actually going to want to, it's going to almost suck right down into it, the heat. All right, so battery died, but I got the tape off. You guys can see the tape, how it helped line up the windshield, but everything turned out pretty well. We just got the windshield all cleaned up, got the antenna all hooked up. It really makes the car, it just really comes together. You know, I don't know why just having a windshield in there, just it feels, it's good. Like I said, it hasn't had a windshield in there for a couple years. So yeah, that's gonna pretty much do it for the windshield install. I will leave a link in the description for the clips and the screws if you guys happen to need them, and probably a link for some butyl too. This is what I ended up left. So I'll give you guys a few more updates as we go. It's at this point now where it's going to start coming together. So all right guys, well I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you learned something from that. If you did, maybe give me a like, and while you're down there, maybe consider subscribing. And catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.